Welcome to Caching Waves. This is your Elliott Wave update for ICP. I'm going to get down into the micro count in a moment. Just wanted to show you we have 5 waves up as a larger wave 1 and looking for an A, B, C to correct in 3. And we're in the middle of a B wave on the larger trend. Just wanted to show you that real quick. We're going to get down into the 1 hour chart here. We have to discuss last video. I haven't changed the labeling yet. I wanted to show you this in real time just for a little piece of education where you can do this yourself if I'm not available for a video. So was looking for this as a triangle, but the negatives to that, based on the moves that happened the last couple of days, is we expect thrust to the upside if that is actually a triangle. So it hasn't thrusted as expected. So we have to discuss what else could be happening here. Now this has been a pretty confusing correction because I mentioned this as well, that if I pull the pivot back to this area, we've reached the 618 extension of this wave, of this A wave to the upside. So this can be considered a correction in itself, which is quite confusing, right? It's possible that that's a 3-wave move in itself. So if that's a 3-wave move as like a zigzag, and this is a 5-wave move rather than a 3, then this is our A wave. If this is our A wave, then it looks like we're making a flat as an A, B, C, in which case we would expect another 3-wave move to the upside. So that's scenario 1. This is why it's so complicating when you're getting 3-wave patterns. But when you don't get the move you expected after a completion like this triangle, you have to consider the alternatives. So one alternative I saw was if we consider our A wave as labeled correctly, then this can be a W, X, Y. And what that would be is a super complex correction. This would most likely be a zigzag here. We get our X wave and a triangle for our Y. Now that one would fit, although I don't love this wave right here. It looks impulsive right here, but I can be proven wrong as it not being impulsive. So just showing you the options available, but you can see we get our A, B, C, D, E within the trend line, and we do have thrust currently. So if we keep moving to the upside from here and tag our 1-to-1 at 1713, then this would be the labeling I would go with, a WXY. But until it proves itself, we're not sure which one we're getting, right? But I am pretty certain it's not a triangle currently in the original sense as the A, B, C, D, E. Unless I was looking for this morning because the E wave can be a triangle in itself, but we didn't really get that. This was the top of the D. You know, we didn't really get that final wave right here. So as of right now, if we move to the upside, I would have it labeled as a complex 3-wave, an X wave, and a triangle. Okay. Now, if we are still in the middle of our B wave, where this is our A, we're working on our B wave. As you can see, this is my pivot here from our original A wave. And that is, sorry, just trying to move it over here. It's not letting me do it. Come on. Bluetooth keyboard. Not connected. All right, there we go. As you can see, our A wave here, we're still in that B zone area, that B or X zone. We haven't invalidated. It's past the 1.618 of 1417. So if our correction is not complete and we just have an A, we're still working on a complex B. Remember, B waves can take a very, very, very long time. That could be our 3-wave B, and we still get this C wave to the downside before we attempt our high. So there's a lot of things that can be happening here. That's why I always say when we start with 3, you just have to kind of stick with it. Because I know B waves can be very frustrating, and if you're trying to trade down on like the 5-minute level, you're going to get eaten alive here. So what I would suggest is if we keep moving from here, the correction is the complex correction where we end in a triangle. If we come down for one more, this changes to our A, B, C. And also this can be our A, if you remember, in our 3-wave move here. But it would be a very similar move. This would be an A, B, C. You can see it's very similar. It doesn't really matter between those two, except for our expectation after the fact, in which we'll see what waves form out when we're near target. So as of right now, if it doesn't go, I'm expecting an equal wave as this A wave here. So wherever it drops from, pull the pivots. Wherever it drops from, look for the 1-to-1. Which is at 1269-ish if we drop from right now. And still protecting our original low. So based on all those scenarios, my stop stays as is at 1123.8, just so I allow the most possible corrections to play out here. I'm still biased to the upside, and this target of the 1-to-1 should change based on where we pivot from, obviously. Right now I'd move it over to here in case it's that WXY, and we just go from here. But if we make that 1-to-1 extension down to 1269, obviously my 1-to-1 target up here would change to 1650. So I hope that was helpful, everybody. I'm not moving my stop, leaving it as is. Fully aware that we can just go from here, or fully aware that we can make that 1-to-1 of this A wave here, and we're in the middle of a long B wave right here. And that should correct and make us an ABC to the upside. All right, guys, it will eventually expose itself, but we have to just stick with it until it does. Don't get frustrated. Make sure my stop is in the area where most of these counts will work, and it is at 1123.8, and waiting to get the actual targets off the pivot. So hopefully we just get moving here. And this was correct, even though I don't really love the look of that triangle, that wave right here on the micro. All right, guys, that's it for ICP. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.